Hey there guys, this is Chief Brody Rules here, aka Frank Ireland, coming at you with a brand new video where I want to talk about my latest fan trailer, Reset. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a long time where I talk about my process and ideas of how I make a fan trailer, and I felt like Reset was appropriate for that, and I'm finally ready to give some secrets and to give some insight on what goes on when I make a fan trailer. And I asked you guys on Twitter, on Facebook, for some questions. In order to streamline this video, I'm going to answer those questions you guys have. So the first question I have here is from Anthony. Anthony asks, what was it like working with Bruce Willis? It was very difficult, Anthony.
Okay, I don't agree. I mean, I'll certainly do it. I'll try it. I think we have a can of worms here that she's a frail woman. That's why I was saying give her a weapon or something, because I could stand here. She could kick me 8 fucking times, and I wouldn't really be going anywhere.
But all kidding aside, the reason why I picked Bruce Willis is because originally I was all dead set on making Bruce Willis as Batman. It was supposed to be the next follow-up trailer after Batman vs. Superman, but they pushed back Death Wish. And Death Wish was the big key to making the Batman trailer.
He stopped the carjacking. Is he right for taking the law into his own hands?
They pushed it back to March of this year. It was supposed to come out in November of 2017. So I have to wait another couple months in order to make that trailer. Even if I want to make it at that point, I might just be like, I'm done. But I had all this Bruce Willis stuff ready to go, and Bruce Willis is my favorite actor, and I'm like, I have all this Bruce Willis stuff, let me try to make something out of it, so that's why I use Bruce Willis. I'm like, he's my favorite actor, I got all the stuff here, and let me make a fan trailer. You know, I can't just sit here on my ass and wait for Death Wish to come on DVD. I gotta make something.
Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up.
Okay, I will.
Next question is from Ternan Hamill, aka Groovy Spider-Ham. I'm gonna call you Groovy Spider-Ham because I don't want to butcher your name. Your first question is John Blake young Bruce Willis, or is he a different character? Oh my God, I feel like I failed. Oh my fucking Christ. The clip is from Looper.
So do you know what's gonna happen? You done all this already?
That was from Looper, and I was like, I don't want people to think that's young Bruce Willis, so I'm going to go to Dark Knight Rises because I have that to go, and I'm going to match the lip flap as close as I can so people don't think it's young Bruce Willis, because I'm already using young Bruce Willis from his different movies, so people shouldn't think, hey, that's young Bruce Willis. But with this question here, I clearly failed.
Do you know what's gonna happen? You done all this already?
Failed. But yeah, he's not supposed to be young Bruce Willis. The general idea was that he could be Bruce's son. Like, Bruce Willis comes back from the nuclear future, and he comes back just to try to convince anybody to help him out. And it's his son. Because at this timeline, the dad disappeared, and he comes back, he says, oh, you're back in my life now. You disappeared, now you're back. And you're like, what do you come back for? And then he comes rambling like, I'm from the future. We need to get this job done. That's perfect. So that's what that clip is supposed to be. It's supposed to be his son, not another Bruce Willis. Your second question is, do franchises like Back to the Future and Terminator exist in the Reset universe? No! Oh my God, I failed again. The reason why the trailer is not called Back to the Future or Terminator, because it's not supposed to be those things. It's supposed to be like influence from them, but it's not supposed to be them. I know I used the clips, but those are the clips I have to use. You know, just thinking killer robots in the future. That's what I wanted to use. And it's not Terminator. And the reason why I'd used a DeLorean is because Back to the Future movies exist and Ready Player One exists. The whole reason why this whole trailer started is because the Ready Player One car running and dodging the wrecking balls. That's the whole reason why this started, because just of Ready Player One clips. And it's just supposed to be like it's a time machine. That's all you need to know. You're not supposed to see it as a DeLorean from Back to the Future. It's just his time machine. That's what he's using. I just need to tell the storyline to sell the idea, like time travel, Bruce Willis. So the next question you have is, will Reset get a sequel or a series of trailers / TV spots so you can include the clip from Ready Player One that you missed? No. I feel like my story's been told. It's I told the story I wanted to do. It's Bruce Willis time traveling backward and forward through time. It's been done, and if this were a real movie, it would be standalone. I'm not thinking of franchising it. The end would be the found footage of him coming back in time and saying, hey, time travel exists, and like they kind of lock him up and just take away the machine, and it sort of like loops. He comes back to a certain point in time where time travel has not been invented, but then they start using that technology to create time travel. It's sort of a looping movie where it just keeps going, and it could change, it could not change, you know what I mean? But that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a standalone movie, just to think like, can you change your fate? Are things avoidable? Things like that. So the final question from Groovy Spider-Ham is, has making this trailer inspired you to make similar trailers like this in the future? Yes, it has. The reason why I didn't do any fan trailers in 2016 and most of 2017 is because I was focused on making that fucking Batman vs. Superman trailer. It was the most difficult thing I've ever worked on because it was just trying to make it new and original and fresh and just say me, like, this is my version of Batman versus Superman, you know, and it's really tough to do that because everyone does a Batman, everyone does a Superman trailer, everyone does Batman versus Superman, everyone's used Cavill, everyone's used Christopher Reeves, everyone's used Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, you know, it's very difficult to make a Batman Superman trailer, so that just engulfed my life. Like, how do I make a fresh take of this? How do I make this my own? And after a long time, I finally did. And I'm very proud of the Batman vs. Superman project, but it did take a long time of my life, and now I totally see why some directors, they don't like doing that with franchises, because it just takes you over, like, what the hell am I going to do, and just to try to do something fresh with that idea. So now that's out of the way, I could finally focus on trailers like this, my fan edits, so I can make, like, a Bruce Willis trailer or a Tom Cruise trailer. So yes, this trailer has inspired me to continue making fan trailers. Some ideas I have are Depravity, starring Tom Cruise. It's Presumed Innocent.
You were in Carolyn's apartment the night she was killed. We've got the fingerprint results. There's a call from your house to hers that night.
This is absurd.
Go ahead, play cool. I know. You killed her. You're the guy.
Meet Shame.
Hey, do you want to play?
Your hard drive is filthy. I mean, it is dirty.
And then the other trailer I have is Cherry Bomb. I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's going to have Kristen Stewart in it. If you saw my music tag in that whole Cherry Bomb song... It's Boogie Nights meets Blow, but starring Kristen Stewart. It's supposed to be like a fake biopic. I don't think it's going to work, but it's just an idea I have. And then another fan trailer I want to make is like a kaiju movie. I've been wanting to make it since I was in high school. I've had an idea of how it would start, but oh my god. I don't want to spoil any of this because I don't want anyone to steal my ideas. But there's a trailer that came out years ago. Well, not years ago. It came out like 2015, I think. A movie came out, and I was like, fuck. That's perfect. I got to use that for my kaiju movie if I ever make it. So I have that in mind for a non-IP idea. And yeah, so I want to make more fan trailers and fan edits, making those kind of things. So the next question I have here is from Phil Dragish. Phil, of course, you guys know, he did the narration for Captain America Winter Soldier and Jurassic World. His question is, does Reset involve Bruce's character as he varies in age throughout the time he travels? Yes, it does, because it's supposed to be that he ages differently than everyone else, and the whole clip of him turning his head is the different time periods he's been in. And your next question is that, is the machine uprising the reason why they established time travel patrol, or do they discover that as they go through time? They discover it as it goes through time, because originally time travel is invented, and Bruce and Jim Caviezel and some other people are time cops, and they go through time. Probably Emily Blunt, because Emily Blunt is one of the people in the future who survived and says, hey, I gotta tell you, you gotta fix this. You know, she tells Bruce Willis that. So, you know, there's all these different time cops, and Jim Caviezel fucks something up. He's the guy who says,
You think you know what's coming? You don't have a clue.
That guy, he goes back in time and creates like all these different ripples, like, oh god, what's going to happen in the future? So yeah, it's not really, time travel's not invented to stop this metal thing. It happens after it's already been invented. So there's that. Next question I have is from Kirk Beattie, Shades at Night. I'd like to hear more about the stuff you wanted to include but couldn't, like Bruce Willis in the Old West. Why didn't it fit? And were there other films you couldn't get your hands on? What he's referring to is a scene I had cut on Twitter. I said, hey, this is what Reset is about, and this is a clip I wanted to have in Reset. I wanted to have a clip of Bruce Willis in Old West from Last Man Standing with a little bit of Back to the Future Part 3. But the problem is it did not fit with the storyline I was telling. I'm really strict about that. If it does not service the storyline, then I cut it. So the storyline was basically Jim Caviezel fucks up the timeline. Bruce Willis has to fix it. There's something going on in the future, and he has to go back to the past. Things like that. So the Old West with Bruce Willis, it's a fun idea. There's things to work with, but I didn't like it because, like, it's not necessary for the storyline. The story is not about him being in the Wild West. It's about Bruce Willis having to fix the time issue that has to do with the recent past and the near future. The Wild West did not fit that construct at all, so it got cut. So to answer the other question was there a movie I could not get my hands on for the trailer? Which is, no, I got my hands on basically everything I needed. It's just some movies did not work. The main example was Surrogates. Surrogates was supposed to have a big giant part in Reset, but since I could not copy the DVD and I'm not into pirating movies, it seems wrong to me. It's my own morals. I know it's probably easier to do, and I'm sure there's a way to get the clean audio from Surrogates, but it didn't sit right with me just to download a movie illegally unless I really needed to. And plus it's like, well, if I can't get Surrogates, I'm just going to use different movies to create a different storyline, which is basically what I kind of did. So that's what I did. So the next question is from Danny, my biggest fan, Danny. Danny asks, who was the voice of the Ghost in the Shell guy and Armin Zola? The voice of the Ghost in the Shell guy is Jared Leto. I used the clip from Blade Runner 2049 and distorted it with a robot metallic voice.
The future is firmly ours.
Because in my trailer, Jared Leto was supposed to be the guy who made the robots, and you're supposed to think, oh, he's the guy in the cloak and stuff, right? But it turns out the twist in the movie is that the guy in the cloak is just a robot that was originally created by Jared Leto, and he had like a godlike complex. In order to be God, he had to kill his god, so he became God, the Jared Leto voice, and he's like a hodgepodge of different robots that were made afterwards. So that was the idea of that character. And the Armin Zola guy you're asking about was, it's not the same character, it's a different AI system that takes over, because what happens is, in my idea of the movie, Jim Caviezel creates like 3 alternate timelines. There's one with nuclear fire, there's one with Jared Leto creating the killer robots, and there's a third timeline, which is, it's not really clear on what happens. You just know that everything is gone, everything's decimated, everyone's dead, and there's like a building, a lone standing building that has this AI system. It would be like 2001 meets The Matrix Reloaded, where Bruce Willis would go down in this clear building with a suit on. That's why he has the Armageddon suit on when he says, sure I can. Because my idea was that Bruce Willis would go into this building and talk to this AI system, and this AI system knows what he's been doing. He says, look, you're on record for going back here and here to try to stop this, but you haven't stopped it. People are still dead. And you think you change your fate. It doesn't work like that. And Bruce Willis is like, sure I can. And that was the idea behind the Armin Zola guy. So it's not the same character, so that's why they didn't have the same voice. That's why it's not Jared Leto at the end saying that. And it's just Terence Stamp from Adjustment Bureau, but it doesn't really matter who does that voice. I'm looking more for the line, because that line was so cool to me. You think you could change your fate? It doesn't work like that. I thought that was so fucking cool.
Did you really think you could change your fate? It doesn't work like that.
Sure I can.
It's Terence Stamp. And the second part of your question, you said, who would co-star along with Bruce Willis, Jim Caviezel, Emily Blunt, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jared Leto, if it were made into a real movie? I don't think Emily Blunt or Joseph Gordon-Levitt would actually be in the movie. They were just clips I wanted to use. Like, they had specific lines I wanted, but I wouldn't really need them for the movie. Those could be someone else. But, I don't really think about who would be in the actual movie, The only ones I know that would be in the actual movie, like, for certain, like, yes, they're in the movie, is Bruce Willis and Jim Caviezel. But yeah, that's the basic idea of that. I wouldn't really have a cast set in mind. I mostly just think about the story I'm telling. I'm not thinking about like, oh, and if this were a real movie, I would use this cast. I'm thinking about storyline. Okay, I'm thinking I need this line in this movie. I need that scene. I need this scene. I'm thinking about storytelling wise. I'm not really thinking about cast. Next question here I have from Ethan Walsh. If it were a real movie, who would be your choice to direct? It's the bell and whistle. I don't feel like the director is really important when making a fan edit trailer. It goes all the way back when I made my Grand Theft Auto trailer.
What's the job?
Bank robbery.
I want to pay off the club.
It said from the editor, Chief Brody Rules. It was supposed to say from the director of this, but I just didn't feel like I could put a finger on, like, that's the director I want to do this movie. Because it could be anyone. Whoever wants to do it would do it, But, to answer your question and be fair on it, I would choose Tony Scott, even though he's dead, but I would pick Tony Scott for this movie, because Tony Scott's the only action director I would trust with anything, because Tony Scott's my favorite director, and the whole trailer is sort of an homage to him. Like, I use Deja Vu in it, and the whole look of the green and harsh blacks in it, because it's so black and the greens are really green, is because I was homaging like Domino, Man on Fire, Deja Vu, Taking Up Pelham 1, 2, 3, and like that time period of Tony Scott movies, because I thought he was such a great director. I love his movies a lot. And if it were a real movie, I'd want him to direct, but it could be anyone. It's just a bell and whistle. I don't really think about directors when I make a fan trailer. Next question is from Brother Caleb. Too damn creative. Where did the idea for the concept of Reset come from? Any key inspirations or influences? Originally, Reset was not supposed to be a fan trailer. It was supposed to be a channel trailer for my YouTube channel. It was supposed to have clips from all my favorite movies, like interacting with each other, and then it would conclude with the DeLorean driving with Bruce Willis in it. That was the original idea, but as I was fiddling with the clips, because I noticed that the DeLorean bouncing to the music was on point, I was like, holy fuck, that really works. And the Bruce Willis going, whoa! To me, I was like, there's something here, I want to work on that. So originally it was supposed to be like a crazy dimensional movie where like all these dimensions open up and it's like everything. There's like a T-Rex there. There's like King Kong there. There's the guy from Last Action Hero. There's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Worlds are colliding. It's supposed to have like the blue thing in the sky, but I'm like, I couldn't make that idea work, and I couldn't make it cohesive and, like, told within 2 minutes and 30 seconds with the clips I had. So I was just like, I got to readjust this. What else can I do while using the same sort of clips? And it was a time travel movie, so that's why I went with the time travel route. But originally it was just supposed to be a channel trailer. Any key inspirations or influences? Timecop really shaped it up. Because originally it was just supposed to be a time travel movie with the Timecop element of...
We have to form a brand new covert agency to actually protect time.
That's a more action-packed thing. It's like, hey, that's cool. I'm going to use all these different clips to tell that story. I thought that would work better than what I originally had in mind. So the Timecop thing is probably the big influence on this trailer. Okay, the next question I have here is from Cade Fisher. He says, the trailer shows numerous versions of Bruce when he turns to the camera. Are they alternate timelines he's visited? Since he's a time cop, he would change his appearance throughout the time he's worked. In order to do his job, he would have to blend into the environment, at least originally. But before all things goes haywire, then he's like, fuck, I just gotta fix it. It doesn't matter what I look like, I just gotta fix it. Wow! So that's been today's episode. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this has given you some insight on how I approach a fan trailer. And if you have any other questions about Reset, please leave them down below. I'll be more than willing to answer them. And if you want another video like this in the future, I'll be more than willing to try to do that. I feel like this has only scratched the surface on what I do. I haven't really explained my whole process yet. So let me know if you want to see that kind of video. Maybe you're like, hey, Jurassic World and Batman vs. Superman, like, how did you approach those? Because those are so huge projects. Like, what did you do with those? So maybe I could start with those. I don't know. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. If you like this video, click like. If you're not already subscribed, click subscribe. And if you're a huge Chief Brody Rules fan, please click the notification button over here. It's that little bell. It lets you know when I upload an episode or a video. I use it for Shades at Night, Anthony Vlogs, Red Letter Media, Toy Galaxy, Sam's channel. Whenever they upload a video, I'm instantly there. I'm like first in line. There's a lot of new videos I'm working on for this channel, so I don't want you to miss out on any content. So with that being said, have a great day, everybody.